I'm Haley and welcome. Today we are going to do part 1 of a series of Write With Me. Today we're going to be discussing world building. So I originally been writing a bunch of historical fiction. That's my genre. But recently I've been tinkering around in fantasy, and it's opened a whole new world for me, pun intended, and I'm almost done with my first fantasy novel, and I'm super excited about that. And as is my habit, I've already come up with the idea for a second book, which is a portal fantasy, someone from our world going into the world of my fantasy book. And I really felt in order to do that well, I needed to learn more about my fantasy world. The people, the climate, the customs, the magic system, everything. I already know a little bit. I know what the world looks like, the geography, some of the places and their names, stuff like that. But I don't really have a firm understanding of that world. There are 3 people groups, I think, 3 main people groups that I'm focusing on, building the cultures, and I started doing a little bit of that, so I know some of them, but I felt like I didn't really have a firm understanding of it, so I'm going all the way to ground level with topography. So topography, I believe I'm using that word right. It just means like the layout of the land, like geography. I should probably use geography because I know what that means. And so the most logical thing to do is make a map. And that's what I did with my first book that I'm currently writing still. I don't have it with me, so here's a picture of my original thought of what the world looked like. It's really drawn in a weird 2D dimension. I don't know what to think of it. And then since I don't have this map either, hopefully I'll put it on the screen. So evidently I've lost that map, and I can't find it. It's not really that important. I was just going to show you how it changed. How my thoughts of the land changed since then. But yeah, there is no map. Sorry about that. But it's nice that I found it because it has all this stuff labeled. All the terms, all the names of the places and stuff, it's all on there. So I had forgotten about it. And so I really didn't have much to go off of for this map. But here's a sketch of the map of the world that I was going to create on a bigger map. And you see there it has a little bit of stuff on there, not very much. This continent is the one that I made the map off of. It's the one that my books focus most on. This continent is cool, and I like how it turned out, but I just don't have a story for it yet, so we'll see what I do with it. And I actually have the finished map, the really big version, on my wall, and I'm super excited because it's big enough for me to stick post-it notes on, make notes on, to explore the cultures more. And I really like how it turned out. I'll show you guys in a minute. So what I did to make it is I took 6 sheets of printer paper and taped them together, and then I drew a sketch based on my map here. So I drew that sketch, an enlarged version on there. I inked in the mountains, the rivers, what else did I put on there? I think that's it. And then I used crayon really lightly to color it in. Then I took a tissue, which is my favorite way to do this. I took a tissue and rubbed it, make it nice and smooth and soft. It actually feels soft. Then I labeled it all with the map that I found afterwards, and I was like, oh darn, I moved some stuff around, but it's fine. It made it more interesting. Then the last thing I did to make it was I put a taped border around it to help strengthen the edges of the map. And now that I have the map, I'm able to think about how the culture is affected by the geography, because it always is. You think of different parts of the world, you think of desert people, you think of people living in the jungle, in forest, in the mountains, in the plains. They all live differently. So having this foundation on a map that I can follow will be great. Because different cultures use what's around them, right? Especially since my world is pre-industrial civilization, they will use what they have and set up trading systems, stuff like that. So they will have distinct culture, clothing, traditions, values, stuff like that. Speaking of the clothing, I watched this amazing video by Bernadette Banner, I'll link it down below, where she goes over the Game of Thrones clothing and how well they did it. And it was all based on where the people were from. And based on that ground level of where they were from and their surroundings, she showed how the designers built on top of that the customs, the clothing, the color of the clothing, the structure of the clothing, and all of that. And that got me thinking about the food sources and the lifestyles. Would they be just small families? Would they be big families? Would they be a huge community? Or would they be loners, as in just one family by themselves? So yeah, that was really good. I considered having a round world, but decided no, I'm just gonna have a flat world, like the Greeks thought it was, I think, where it was just like a flat world with semicircles, domes of stars over it. I'm kind of going off of that for this, and yeah. Thank you for joining me for this little sneak peek of what's coming next. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it was kind of useful getting your brain going if you are also brainstorming world building, a fantasy novel. Tell me in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. Tell me your thoughts. How do you world build? How do you brainstorm a new book? That is always a fun discussion. So next time we will be discussing a little bit of the culture. I think I'll take it one geographical location at a time, figure one out at a time, maybe one people group at a time, I don't know. We'll see what I do. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you later, and yeah, drop me a line in the comments. I really want to hear from you guys and get to know you. So see you later. Bye. Hello. It's snowing. It's the first snow of the year. Why am I so excited about it? I do not know. It means that it's gonna be snowy for the next 8 months, but I'm happy. As of filming this, I think it's let me check. It's the 30th today, but it started yesterday, the 29th of October. And we got 6 to 8 inches, I would say, of snow. all in 24 hours. It's just beautiful. Focus, come on. It's not focusing, but you get the point. I think it's better in here. You can see it a lot better. Isn't that pretty? We already have icicles. It's like a little gingerbread house. I'm super excited. It's really pretty. See the chairs there? That's a lot of snow. I thought you guys would like to see that, so thought I would share the fun. Bye!